Hello there everyone, and welcome to another Thomas the Tank Engine review video. I am taking a look at the Super Cruiser. This is a successor to the Super Station, which around the beginning of the year I did get and did do a review on. And when I saw that there was this Super Cruiser, I was like very excited that there was going to be a follow-up to the Super Station. Although the amount of time waiting, I just totally could not believe. So anyway, I am showing you the box right here, and it says that it stores 50 plus engines, and it works with Trackmaster, push along and motorized engines, minis, and Thomas & Friends Wood. As you may recall, when the Super Station came out, that was during the time that we still had Thomas Wood and Railway out. So now that Thomas Wood has come into play, they have also made it possible to connect this track to Thomas & Friends Wood track. So let's get this thing open and take a look at what's inside. I forgot to show the back of the box, clumsy of me. And something to point out on the images showing the, the back of the box where they do show Thomas & Friends Wood trains here. Something that's very odd to me is that they actually have the original style Thomas Wood Herald on the box. It is not a character that comes in the set, by the way. It even states on the box that that is not included. And just like with the Super Station, it shows various different trains, and it states that they are sold separately, as well as also subject to availability, depending on what point in time that you get the Super Station. But anyway, the thing that kind of does not make sense to me as far as the inclusion of the Thomas & Friends Wood Herald that is in the 2018 variant is that in the picture we do also see a Thomas & Friends Wood Young Bao, a Thomas Wood Percy, and a Thomas Wood Nia, all fully painted, as well as also a Thomas Wood Thomas, but that kind of looked like Thomas Wood and Railway to me. But regardless, I wonder why they would have Herald not be painted on the box, and yet they would have the fully painted trains on the box as well. Doesn't make much sense to me. So now that I've gotten all of the parts all taken out, I am now looking over the individual pieces. We will start with looking at the track pieces, such as some of the ones that are pretty much new and stuff that we've already seen before in the Super Station. So, let's begin. First, it comes with one of these ascending track pieces right here. I'm pretty sure it's just one, because I can only find one at the moment. Yeah, just one. Only one of these included in the entire set. So that is a new piece. I'm pretty sure that the very straight track pieces are not new. We've seen that before in the Super Station. We've also seen this length of track in the Super Station before. We also have some track that act as adapters for Trackmaster, as well as some slope pieces, which were also shown in the Super Station. We do, however, get two of the adapter pieces for the Thomas & Friends Wood section. In the Super Station, we had the track adapters for Thomas Wood and Railway, and that was because it was before Thomas & Friends Wood even existed. But now with Thomas & Friends Wood, we do have two adapters for the Thomas & Friends Wood track. And if you happen to have a couple of Thomas Wood and Railway and Thomas Wood adapters, even if you don't have Thomas & Friends Wood in general, and you got the Super Station, you'll be able to be just fine with these if you manage to have some track adapters. But if you don't have those adapters, then you're pretty much out of luck. Although you could just connect them like this and just use the same track adapters is from the Superstation, but otherwise you probably will not have much luck with that. But thankfully I do, so that's not a problem for me. It does also come with 6 of the curve track pieces. They actually have groups of 2 that are connected in the box. I did not connect to these. These came exactly like they do in the box. And it also comes with 2 of the slope pieces, which I remember seeing from the Superstation, as well as 2 of the rising pieces that also were present in the Superstation. And these are part of helping to make the track rise, or creating the rising track, or whatever. There are also these pieces right here that were in the Superstation. The Superstation had 2 of these. The Super Cruiser has 4 in this case. And now here is the Super Cruiser itself, and right here, I'm taking it off at the moment. Right here is a platform for Harold the helicopter, who is not included in this set, by the way, not in any form. The Superstation did have, I think, a Trackmaster version of Harold, but there is no Harold included in this set whatsoever. You can connect track pieces onto the this pad right here, although they do provide 4 different ways that the track can connect to, but there's only 2 of these hill tracks that are provided in this set. Though if you have the Superstation, you could probably just take the... Oh, it just fell off again. Yeah, that's the thing. This is actually 3 different pieces. You see? But as I was saying, if you have the Superstation, you could just take these track pieces off of there and put them onto here. So then you would have 4. And as you could see, you could put it on top of the Super Cruiser itself, or you could just stand it down like this, and I'm not entirely sure what to do, because based upon the footage that we've seen of the Super Cruiser, I think that I may want it to have to be like mobile or something for the wooden railway layout that I have, but I'll just see what I can do about that. Now, it does include 3 trains in this set. It includes a Trackmaster push-along Thomas. This is the first time that I've gotten one of the push-along trains. They were just recently introduced. This is a new merchandise line of Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm pretty sure it's like supposed to be a successor of Trackmaster or something, but you know. People's opinions about this style of train are pretty much mixed. I'm personally neutral to it, because, you know, the only reason why I have this is because I got the Super Cruiser, alright? I probably would not have chosen to get one of these normally, unless I was probably getting it for customization, but, you know, I have this. And it does also include 2 minis. It includes a version of Percy, which has an octopus on one side and a pufferfish on the other, and, you know, it's supposed to give an ocean effect because it has transparent blue wheels. The push-along Thomas has pretty much the same thing, although in his case he has a turtle on his side. And we also get a Minis Nia with pretty much the same effects, and in this case she has seahorses and lobsters and crabs on her side. This is the first time that I've gotten a Minis Nia. In fact, I probably could just get a whole series of minis for the entire Steam team, which I may do at some point, because there's plenty of room for minis on the Superstation. And it also includes Stefano, or however you pronounce it, and he is a part of the Super Cruiser. Now, judging from the images or the clips on YouTube that shows Stefano, I think that he's supposed to be a part of the Super Cruiser. Like, this is supposed to be his entire body. However, it is possible to take him out of here and just have him just roll along just like this. And he does happen to include a couple of gadgets, such as this drill piece right here, which I can actually connect to right here. The scooper does come off and it can be attached to here, and the drill can go right here. It's just that the box art shows that the scooper came out. The box art shows, oh, I see, I did not connect it properly. The box art shows the scooper in his arm. And this claw piece right here, this right here is also removable and can be attached in other ways. Like this. So, that is pretty cool. I'm not quite certain if this is the only form of merchandise that Stefano is going to be getting, but if it is, I'm pretty sure that it will work out for any style of any style of Thomas merchandise that you use, because basically he's a very large character, so it's not really going to matter how big he is compared to the rest of the trains or the vehicles. Now I'm going to move him over to the side and bring in the Super Cruiser, and it just so happens that the Super Cruiser can actually open up from the bottom. Right there. And I'm pretty sure that this track here is removable. Is it? Yeah. And I've also figured out that it has these legs on the inside. I did not realize that. Also sure that the back opens up too. Indeed it does. And, you know, here's the interior of the Super Cruiser. So, the whole deal with the Super Cruiser right here is that it is designed to carry, like, trains and construction vehicles around, well, the ocean. I'm gonna put Stefano back. Just gonna set him back the way that he was. Oh, come on. Yeah, set him. Am I doing it right? Oh, I see. Yeah, just like that, right there. So, yeah, I mean, based upon what we know about Stefano right now, we don't know if he actually can be removed from the Super Cruiser in the TV show like he can with the Super Cruiser set. Because at the time of the recording of this video, the special called Digs and Discoveries has not come out. But as far as I know, the story is that Stefano is able to carry Thomas as well as the pack all the way to Italy. In fact, that is where Stefano comes from, or Stefano, however his name is pronounced. I really don't know. I heard it be pronounced as Stefano in the online video, but I may call him Stefano at some point, so go easy on me. Here is the first of the layouts, the official layouts that they have you build, and how they do it is that they connect the circular track in the back of the Super Cruiser right here, so it pretty much acts like a tunnel. Let me see if I can get Thomas to roll down over here. Come on. Excuse me a moment. Okay. Now. Yep. Just as I expected it would work. Here we have the platform for Harold the Helicopter's pad. And, well, they do have you have this track connect to here so engines can go up it. But when they go up it, you know, they just run out of track. I mean, obviously, in real life, trains have no ability of turning without track. the trains are just meant to go in whatever direction the track is meant to go. So if there's no track, the trains cannot turn. They just have to go wherever, you know, wherever what is around them will take them. I mean, it is fun to have the trains just roll down the slope just like that, but you know, there's just like no way for them to just move around, you know, or at least not rotate in any direction, because there is no track once you get up to here. So kind of a strange way of connecting, if I must say so. Layout 2 is a little bit better. All they had to do was well, all they did was just take away this ramp and just put it down here, but take this piece of track out, which it even says pieces left over, which would include this piece right here and this piece. Of course, not including the track adapters from before, because they do not include those in any of the layouts. They just provide those just in case you want to connect to other styles of track. Layout 3 basically just takes away the helicopter pad entirely and just do the same thing again, having 2 ramps coming down from the Super Cruiser, which I think I personally prefer having it like this, because, you know, the helicopter pad is not in the way now, and, you know, the trains can now move a little more freely than before. I'm not even gonna bother making this one, but it's just the helicopter pad with those ramps together, and, you know, I just don't see how this helicopter pad really works out, so I'm not gonna bother making that. Here is just a little showcase on how the minis can connect, just like with the Super Station. The Super Cruiser does have various different places where the minis can connect, such as on the side, as well as on Stefano's crane arm. So that's pretty good. So pretty much with all that said, I certainly think the Super Cruiser is a great extension to the Super Station. I certainly will see how I can get this connected to my wooden railway train layout. Might take a bit of taking some things apart in order to get some things implemented, but I'll figure out how to get this connected to my wooden railway layout downstairs. So thank you so much for watching, and I would highly encourage you to get this if you can find it in any of your local stores. For me personally, I was not able to find it at either my local Walmart or my local Target, and Walmart was where I found the Super Station. In fact, when I went to Walmart during my last visit, they still have a Super Station still available, and I think that they have decreased the price on that because of how long it's been since the Super Station came out. I certainly wonder if they will actually do something like this again in the future, like maybe make a super, well, I don't know, a super something. I'm not quite sure what. Can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but, you know, like another sort of thing that connects the various different types of Thomas merchandise together. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.